Okay, so we are finding tangent and of A and B for our two triangles we have here. With these, they want us to write the fraction, what we did before, as a decimal, and then also find the angle measure. So they added an extra step in. So we're going to do it. I did not ask you to do it yesterday, but we're going to practice it today. So our first part is tangent of A. Remember, tangent is what in terms of sides?
Adjacent.
So it's opposite over. Yep, opposite over adjacent. Opposite of A is 21. Adjacent to A is 28. Okay, so when it says they want you to write that as a decimal, you're going to put 21 divided by 28 into your calculator, and you're going to tell me its value. So, Slytherin, what did you get for that?
0.75.
Okay, so now we want to find our angle measure, so we're going to do tan inverse of, you can put 0.2 or 0.75, or you can put 21 divided by 28. When we do that, we are at Ravenclaw. Ravenclaw, what do you get? Tan inverse of 21 divided by 28. I'm going this direction. So, tan inverse of 21 divided by 28. 36.9 degrees. Now we also want to find angle B. So we have tan of B. Again, it's still opposite over adjacent. Opposite of B is 28.
Both tans on one.
I'm sorry?
Both,
all for question
A and
1.
B?
Yep. So opposite over adjacent for B. Adjacent for B is 21. Once again, you're going to put that in your calculator because it wants it to be a decimal form for us to try it that way. So 28 divided by 21 is what value? So we're now at Gryffindor. What did you get? 1.3. And then we do tan inverse of 28 divided by 21, which is what value? So then now we're at Hufflepuff. 53.1. So we start with tangent of A. So tan A. Tangent is still opposite over adjacent. Opposite of A, Mario, what is it?
30.
What's adjacent to A?
34.
Be careful there.
16.
16. 34 is our hypotenuse because it's across from the right angle. Okay, so then we have tan A of, and then if we were going to put that in our calculator, Ravenclaw, what is 30 divided by 16? What did you get? 30 divided by 16? 1.87. Okay, tan inverse of 30 divided by 16. Group back here. Yep. 61.9. Okay, and then Hufflepuff, we're going to start setting up the next one. Yes. It did. So was 9 not rounded fully? Oh, so when it's talking about that round to the nearest tenth, it wants it for the angle to be round to the nearest tenth. But good question. Hey, so we are at tan B. So tan B is still opposite over adjacent. So Hufflepuff, what is opposite of B? Over? 30. Okay. So tan inverse, we are at group over here, Mario's group. Yes. Did you guys get 28.0 degrees?
Yes, ma'am.
Hey. So yesterday we learned the trig function tangent. Today we are learning sine and cosine. We abbreviate this as SIN for sine, and then we abbreviate cosine COS. We write these ratios involve the hypotenuse, of a right triangle, the ratios are always going to be between 0 and 1. With this, we know sine is opposite over hypotenuse and cosine is adjacent over hypotenuse. So I'm going to let you have a second to write that, and then we're going to do this in terms of the triangle we have below. So when we do sine of A, I'm going to go back. It's going to take me a second. There we go. Okay, so you're going to put the triangle in between the two boxes, and then I'm going to tell you that sine of A is opposite. So opposite of A is A over hypotenuse, which is C. Over here we have cosine of A, and cosine is adjacent over hypotenuse, so B over C. So we have different phrases to help us remember trig ratios. The one that this book or the other math teacher in the department came up with was some old hippies came a hopping through our apartment. Yes, I know it is silly, but if you look at the first letter of every word, you see that some, S, sine, old, opposite, hypotenuse. Cosine, adjacent over hypotenuse. And tangent, opposite over adjacent. You might have seen this before in another math class.
Oh no, what's wrong with you?
Please excuse my dear aunt.
Okay. Sine of A equals opposite over hypotenuse. What is our opposite of A? We left off on Dion's group. So, Dion, what is opposite of A? Or Bree, either one of you.
Opposite of A is 4.
4, and what's the hypotenuse?
5.
Yep. Okay, so if we're going to find sine inverse of 4 over 5, middle group, Gryffindor, what do you get for sine inverse of 4 over 5? Can you say it one more time? 53.1. Okay, and then we are at cosine. Cosine, you're at Hufflepuff of A. So what is cosine of A? Yep. I'm going to tell you that cosine is adjacent over hypotenuse. So adjacent, what is the side that's adjacent?
Oh, you know, close.
Yep. So 3 over 5. Okay, we're back over here in Mario's group. What is cosine inverse of 3 over 5?
It is 53.1.
It's 53.1. That is correct. It is the same thing. Okay, and then we have tangent, which is opposite over adjacent. We are at Bree and Dion again. What is opposite of A? Hold on. I can't hear you, Dion. I'm sorry.
4.
4 over?
5. 3.
4 over 3. Okay, and then Gryffindor, you're at tan inverse of 4 over 3. 53.1 degrees. Okay, so now we're going to do the same thing, but now we're going to do it for B. So we have sine B. I'm going to switch my colors. So sine B. Yep. Is opposite over hypotenuse. So what is opposite of B? Opposite of B. 5. Okay. Now we have sine inverse. We're back over here to Mario's group of 3 over 5. Sine inverse of 3 over 5. 36.8. 36.1. What is the decimal behind it?
6.
Okay. So we'll go with 36.9. But I'll take it. Okay, so now we have cosine of B. Remember, cosine is adjacent over hypotenuse. So we're back up there at Dion's group. What's the adjacent of B? Bree or Dion?
It would be 4.
Over.
5.
Nice job. Okay. Raya's group, cosine inverse of 4 over 5. 36.9. And then we're at tangent. So tangent of B, we're over here. So Brandon's group, what is the tangent? So opposite, what is opposite of B? 3 over adjacent to B. So which side is adjacent to B? Yep. Okay, we're back over here. And we have our last one, tan inverse of 3 over 4 equals, it's your group, 36.9. Okay, so what do you notice about all the values of sine, cosine, tangent A?
They all the same.
What do you notice about sine, cosine, tangent B? They're all the same. So these are 3 different methods to find the angle measure of A. Angle A does not change. Angle B does not change. But the way we find it changes. Okay, so yes?
So in our homework, you want us to do all that?
Okay, we're ready to do the next
As
one?
long as we do one, it'll be straight.
You have to double check it, yes.
We'll do every single one of them school.
Okay, so our next one over here, we are starting with sine. I would like to go through and set up all of them before we begin. So we're going to do sine of A, cosine A, tan A. I have over here sine B, cosine B, tan B. Okay, so sine of A, we left off with, I think Raya's group starting. So what is opposite of A and hypotenuse? Over.
6 over 10.
Yep, 6 over 10. So sine inverse of 6 over 10. Your group want to finish that up? Raya's group. You want to finish sine inverse of 6 over 10? $36.1? No. 0.9. Okay. Okay, cosine. We are now over here at Alex's group. So somebody in that group, do you want to tell me what is the adjacent to A over the hypotenuse? So Lanaya's doing a really good job. Let's mix it up with a couple other people. Over. Yep. Okay, and then let's have you guys finish that one up just like they did. So cosine inverse of 8 over 10. 36.9. Okay, over here we're back at Steven's group. We have tangent. A tangent is opposite over adjacent. So what is opposite of A? Over adjacent, which is? Okay, so we have tan inverse of 6 over 8. And it's 36.9 degrees. Okay, now I'm going to change my color to do the B. So for B, we see that we have sine of B. So we're back up there with Bree and Dion.
Would it be 8,
Over
6,
hypotenuse.
over 10?
Over 10. And let's have you guys finish that up. Sine inverse of 6 over 10, or 8 over 10. So it's going to be sine inverse of 0.8. Let's give them a chance real quick, guys. You're not putting it in.
I do 8 divided by 10.
8 divided by 10.
53.1.
You just didn't hit the inverse button.
Oh.
That's what his error was. Okay, so now we are at Raya's group over here. So cosine is adjacent. Adjacent is what to be? Over 10. Okay, so we end up with cosine inverse of 6 over 10. 53.1. And then last group over there, Jahim's group, tangent is opposite over adjacent. Opposite of B is? Adjacent is? Be careful, 6, yep. Tan inverse is 8 over 6. And what do you get? 53.1 degrees. Okay, so our first part, we have sine. It just keeps going. Give me 1 second. Okay, so we have sine of A. Sine of A is opposite over hypotenuse. So that means that sine inverse of A will be we end up having sine inverse of A. What did you guys get for that? 62 point 61. Sorry, thank you. 61.9. I just struggle hearing. Sorry. What?
Don't you got around?
So sorry about that. You got that one. So we have cosine. Cosine of A equals adjacent 8 over hypotenuse 17. We know when we do cosine inverse of A, it's still going to be 61.9 degrees. When we have tangent of A, which is opposite 15 over adjacent 8, tan inverse of 15 over 8 equals 61.9 degrees. If we do the same setup with cosine, I'm going to change my colors because I wrote really large. So you see that you have sine of B. Sine of B is 8 over 17. Cosine of B is going to be 15 over 17. And we have tangent of B, which is 8 over 15. Okay, so I'm going to do sine inverse of 8 over 17. When you did that, what did you get? 28.1? So you got 28.1. When you did cosine inverse of 15 over 17, you ended up with 28.1 degrees. And then tangent of inverse of 18 or 8 over 15, you got 28.1 degrees. Okay, so with that, that is our first half, our problem. Our second one here, I feel confident that you guys can set that up. I'm going to set them up with you, but I'm not going to make us solve for the angles right now. So we will do sine of A. Hopefully you guys did this. Was 9 over 41. Sine of B was 40 over 41. We had cosine of A. Cosine of A was 40 over 41. We had cosine of B, which was, what did you say?
9 over 40.
Yep, 9 over 41. And then you had tangent of A. You said it was 9 over 40?
Mm-hmm.
And then you have tangent of B,
40 over 9.
40 over 9. When you solved any of those, what value did you get for your angle of A?
12.7.
So A equaled 12.7 degrees, and B equals,
77.3.
so tangent B is that 40 over 9. Okay, there's no inverse, just sine of 68. What did you guys get? 0.92. 0.92? Okay. It's 4 decimal places.
Of us.
0.9272. Thank you.
3.5.
72. Sine of 48. 0.7431. Cosine of 68.
Oh, she just talks to no class in general.
Cosine of 68. 0.74. 0.3746. Cosine of 48. 6691. Okay, and then tangent of 68. 2.475. Okay. So our first one here is we have to find the side lengths. Which side lengths involve the hypotenuse, which is the only side that we currently have? Is it tangent, sine, or cosine? So cosine involves the hypotenuse. Which other one offers the hypotenuse? Sine. Yep. So sine of our angle, which is angle A, which is 28 degrees, is opposite A over hypotenuse, which is 15. I want to solve for A. This is where we cross multiply. I end up with A equals 15 sine of 28. You're now going to put that in your calculator. This is not a sine inverse, it's multiplication. So 15 times sine of 28. Yep. 7.04. Okay, and then we have B, and we're looking for B, and so for B, that has to be cosine, right? So cosine of angle A, which is 28 degrees, equals adjacent B over hypotenuse, which is 15. Once again, we cross multiply. I end up with B equals 15 cosine of 28 degrees. And then that equals what value? 13 point what? 2.